So the mobile interaction design in this case starts off with 3 buttons really. Book a flight, check in, and my flights. And at the bottom here I've got some advertising space so that the airline can run special offers and those sort of things. Up here I have a hamburger menu which will show all the other aspects of the app. And here we have a back button which will just close that menu. And I'm going to keep the buttons at the bottom of the screen so they're nice and easy to access with the thumbs. So if they click on book a flight, it brings them through to the destination input. I'm going to use like an underline sort of system for several screens. I think that's a very clear, definitive way of showing what they've selected. So whenever they come to input their destination, a drop-down box would appear. And this drop-down would show in alphabetical order all the different locations that they fly to. So as the user types into the box, this list would update according to the letters that are being typed, so they can sort of predict where they're going to go to. So once they've done that, they would click on the forward button. Also, this forward button would be bigger than the back button, just to sort of place emphasis on that's the one they have to go to next, just to keep them moving forward through each screen. So when they click on that, brings them through to the date selection. Going to use a sort of standard calendar for this. I think it's the most easy to understand format. It's universal. So the user just clicks on the date they want to go, clicks on the date they want to come back. Again, they can click on it again to deselect. And we'll have arrows each side of the month so that they can scroll through the different months if that's appropriate. Also, I would probably have the dates dimmed out on the days that they don't fly, so they can only see in bold letters the days that there are flights running, so that they can change the date if they so wish. So once they've done that, they click on forwards, brings them through to the passenger section. Going to use a plus and minus system here. It's very easy to understand. You could use like a toggle up and down switch, to just add numbers, but I really don't think that would work as easy as this. Here I've also got an info button, just so that people could click on it and give them a pop-up showing the differences between children and infants, just the age ranges, so that everybody's clear on what that should be. So they click on forward after that, brings them through to the flight type. So again, we're using the underline system here for economy or business, and it would show them a list of the flight times that day and the different prices of those flights. Also here a button for later, so they can check for later times if that's appropriate. So they would just pick the flight they want, hit forward. Again, for the return flights, you would go through the same process again. So after that, they would press forward again, and it would show them a summary of what they've booked so far. Just the flight times, the destinations, and the amount of passengers and the type of passengers, and the total so far. So once they click on forwards, input the passengers in detail. So they choose Mr., Mrs. or Miss, and all their name, address, country, contact, everything like that. Whenever they hit forwards, if they haven't filled in the details, all of the details, they would get a pop-up like this, telling them that the details aren't correct, and they have to fill in everything. And they would go back to it would also highlight what bits haven't been filled in properly. So then they would go forwards and do the same for any additional passengers, same thing, until the process is complete. So then they would hit forwards, bring them through to the luggage. Again, using a plus and minus system to add cabin bags or check-in bags. Also a button here which would show them the differences between cabin bags and check-in bags, just what the rules and regulations are there for the weights of the bags and the dimensions if appropriate. Then they would hit forwards, brings them through to seating. A little bit of a pain point, so I think I would start off with an initial screen which gives them the option, do they want to choose the seating or do they want to select automatically, and advise them in that case it could be free. So if they click on choose, it takes them to this screen. If they click on select automatically, it takes them through to the extras screen. So going to choose, they would just click on the seat they want or click on it again to deselect. The button here to scroll down to see seats that are further to the rear of the aircraft. Nice easy to work system, just keeping it as simple as it can be. Once they're done with that, hit forward, brings them through to the extra screen. Again, these are just going to be a nice simple layout, top to bottom, showing the car hire, hotels, equipment, insurance, all those things. Or the users can just skip past that if they don't need it. Brings them through to the payment section, so they can choose between cards or PayPal or whatever other options are available. Just fill in their name, their number, their the expiry date, all those sort of things. I think at the bottom here we would have to also show the total price so far, and this button would actually be like a pay now button instead of an arrow. That would be really important, that people know that this is the point where they're actually going to make the payment. So once they've done that, it would take them through to the thank you page, just to show them that that's definitely booked now, and to thank them so it's nice and polite. Give them the reference number and a button here with the option to share it, because you could be booking for other people and it just makes things easier. Also, again, ending on a polite note, wishing them a nice trip. We have a close button here to show that it's the absolute end of the process, and a home button here should they want to go back to have a look at the home screen again. And that's the mobile interaction design.